Hi everyone. This might be a weird episode. I don't know where to begin. I guess I'm gonna begin with what I'm gonna review, which is peanuts, or as we might say, what the fuck is the rest of the packet? Cacahuètes. Oh fuck this. Okay, I think I'm gonna just go straight to it. I don't think I'm gonna keep doing the whole podcast shit. Let's be serious for a second. Basically, I started the whole podcast because I had watched like some pieces of media and I was like, well, I just want to talk about them, right? But I'm just not really enjoying doing it, right? I think when I started, right, the reason I talked about, for example, like the first episode was really all about Evangelion, right? The reason I just started podcast was like, I want to find a way to talk about it, but I don't want to make like a whole edited thing about it, and I'm like, ugh. Right? I like talking about media, but I don't like editing for like 10 hours about it, right? Like editing for a long time is something I like to do for like original content.
Family recipe for steamed hams, yes.
And I thought, well, just me talking about, this piece of media, well, would be interesting, and the podcast format would probably work, but I think it doesn't work for me. It warms me out. Right? And I did watch a few pieces of media this week, right? But they're not pieces of media I'm like interested enough in to, want to talk about for like an hour. Like there are a few episodes that I liked. Like the first episode, of course, because I was like, I wanted to talk about these things, and I've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, and that's why I made like a whole podcast about it, right? Then, like, there was a second episode where there was Zofika, and it was fun because I had somebody to talk to, and obviously they just added some dynamism. Is there a word? I think what might happen is like you're probably not gonna see the whole podcast format anymore. I just don't think it works. I mean, just look at my views, but basically the whole like number of views is going down exponentially. Like on the first episode I got like 30 views in like a week, and like now in like a week I got like 1 view. So it's like, well, what's the point of even continuing? I know that views isn't the whole point, and I didn't start the podcast because of views. I just wanna say that, I mean, fucking hell, I've got like 20 subscribers. If I was doing things for views, I wouldn't be doing YouTube at all. But I thought like one of the things that sort of like intrigued me about the podcast format was like being able to really communicate with the audience, because it's like it's the closest thing to being live, aside from actually being live, right? So it's like, because it's like it's uncut and you just talk and you don't stop, and that's something that I thought could be fun, right? Because the podcast I watch, there's always like a great deal of like actually watching somebody, and just you really get more of the personality of somebody, and I just thought that's something I like. And because of that, you get some genuinely pretty nice, creator to watcher moments, right? And I just don't find that when I get 8 views. So I don't know. I will say these peanuts are not salty enough. Salt isn't good for you, right? I know that salt isn't good for you, but it's peanuts. Nuts need to be salty.
That's kind of gay, but
I think what you might, expect, you might want to expect is more music. Like I've released a bunch of music recently, and I was like, well, that's something that I enjoy, even outside of YouTube. That's just, so I thought, well, might as well use YouTube as like my whole sort of platform for it, instead of just putting stuff on Spotify and getting a hot two listens by my friends and that's it. Like I don't know, maybe YouTube might be the right place for it. I see a lot of musicians on YouTube, they work really well. This video is even more of a disaster than usually, but I don't exactly know what didn't work in the whole podcast idea, right? I think I still don't have, the full insight that I need to really know what went wrong. If I had to say, I think maybe the fact that it's the most unoriginal idea ever, because it's just like podcast where I talk about media, and it's like, okay, yeah, there's like 10,000 other podcasts or like white dudes who are just talking about media. It's like there's no little thing that makes me unique. There's none of that, and it's like, well, obviously that's boring, and I think that might also have to do with my personality. I'm a bit of a boring guy, but I don't know. So I think, I don't know, it's weird because the whole idea for me of making podcasts, right, I don't like editing. But at the same, but as I said before, it's not that I don't like editing. I think that's what I found out mostly by doing it. It's just that I don't like editing myself talking. Right? I love making, like very edited content. I love shitpost editing mostly, but I think with like actual editing, it's not as interesting. And I crack open the Coca-Cola because I'm a fatty. Going back to music, well, you probably saw I released a few covers. There's still, I think, a couple that I haven't released that I've already recorded, and also I'm currently working on a full album that isn't gonna be like, at least I don't want it to be like my first album, which if you have listened to it, I'm sorry. And like the whole point of this new album is more I'm actually putting effort in, so it's gonna be a great show to show really how much talent I don't have. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah, and I'm probably gonna release it right here on this channel, whatever. And when I'm done with it, I've recorded about 3 songs so far, and I've written a bunch of songs, and they're all sort of ready to be recorded, but it takes a long time to record and master and do the whole mixing and right. So I don't know. You'll just have to see. Maybe one day I'll have 1 more subscriber, because I've been at 22 subscribers for a year, and I haven't been moving. Like every time somebody subscribes, they instantly unsubscribe. So I don't. Yeah. I have to see. Maybe one day I'll just abandon the YouTube channel. Maybe one day aliens will come to Earth, come to my YouTube channel and be like, what the fuck was this guy doing? Yeah. I think I could. I don't think it's gonna be completely. Oh. I'm not gonna completely discard the whole podcast idea, but I'm probably gonna just keep it to when I find a piece of media that I'm genuinely very passionate about and that I really genuinely want to talk about, then I might not make a whole podcast, but there's YMS, who you probably know is a YouTuber that I really like, because I've mentioned him quite a few times, and he's got the quickies series of videos where he pretty much just talks about the piece of media that I watched, and for 10 minutes, and there's like very minimal editing, that's a good way to. That would be a good way to just talk about stuff. There would be probably a little bit of editing to remove the whole me not talking, but yeah, I might do that. We'll just have to see. Probably what's gonna just stay is I don't like having like a script, right? I don't like writing down exactly what I thought about things. I might, write little notes, vague notes, but then I like to improvise, sort of like talking about the thing, right? Because often you have certain ideas that just come out, and it's like when you have to write them out, it's a bit inconvenient. So we'll see. I don't know, YouTube itself, the whole being a YouTuber, I think it doesn't work for me, because it's like people expect some kind of cohesion between like different videos. Like they expect some kind of formula. Even and that's not something necessarily that I criticize. Like a lot of my favorite YouTubers have pretty defined formulas. Like Brutal Moose is actually one of my top YouTubers, but his videos, while they're always interesting and pretty new, they still have a formula, and I'm not good with formulas. I'm really bad with formulas. I keep changing ideas and stuff like that, so I think that's why YouTube won't work for me. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Yeah. So I guess I'll give my verdict on cacahuètes. While they are pretty tasty, it's clear that they sort of like are made pretty cheaply. Like, as I said, like the whole salt thing. But it's nice that, again, it's really nice that like they give so much in such a little bag. Like really, I'm pretty stuffed, and I hate just like half the bag, and it's like they're really dense and things like that. So it's pretty good. Would I recommend it to a friend? I mean, they're peanuts. I hope you're not peanut intolerant. But yeah, if you like peanuts, they're pretty decent. I would say 7 out of 10. Well, I won't see you after the break because I'm just gonna stop the fucking video now. So bye, hoes.